Alan asks, have you used the Xiegu G90? Will 20 watts be enough for sideband parks on the air activations? And I have not used the Xiegu, the G90, but Dave White, he's been on the show a few times, KZ9V. He's a big time G90 user. He likes that little radio. And
for the $500 or $600 that they cost, it's a lot of bang for your buck.
It really is.
20 watts is a lot more than you expect. It really is too. It's easy on batteries, so you don't got to bring a big battery along. It's got a lot of features, and I'm not going to diss a Chinese radio. It does have a lot of features, and the only thing is that you got to make sure you run an efficient antenna. And with the sunspot cycle coming up, I think that a X90, or I think Xieg's even got another one now. That's probably a decent investment, especially if you want to get into the portable HF and not spend an arm and a leg.
Yeah. 20 watts. I usually when I'm out activating, I run 50 watts. So 20 is not much lower than that kind of figure.
Like an S unit.
One S unit. Yeah. So that would be from 100 watts down to 20 is 6 dB or one S unit. So it's not that big of a deal. I think, and if you've got a good and efficient antenna, it's going to work gangbusters. Think of stuff like link dipoles, your end-fed half wave,
simple 20-meter dipole.
Resonant. Resonant verticals.
Vertical.
Wolf River coil kind of things. Super antenna.
Stick away from anything with traps. You don't want to run a trap dipole. Try to run things that don't require a tuner. Okay. Now the caveat is I know a lot of the QRP guys run end-fed antennas. Okay. And so there is, that theory that if you're running QRP, you really don't lose much because, you're only losing a percentage of your signal. So if you're running 100 watts and you lost 10%, that's 90 watts. If you are running QRP and you're running 5 watts, that's 0.05 watts. Or whatever. So you're really not losing that much. But I say always stick away from traps and anything with a tuning system. Try to run resonant when possible on those.
Yeah, and this G90 does have a built-in tuner, but like I said, for your best bang for the buck, those resonant antennas will really sing with that little radio. Downside with it is it does have a tendency to get warm. So if you're going to use it for long periods of time, I think they've got a cooling kit for it. Dave uses he's got some of those accessory, just little computer chip fans that he blows right onto the cooling fins because it's got that rig has got poor ventilation. So just be aware of that. They do overheat.
There's a couple of different models out there, both from Xiegu and I think from a couple other ones. Do your research and let us know how they work. In fact, maybe Xiegu, you want to send us one? We'd be happy to review it. I'll be nice.
45 says, they're fine for activating. Hunting with only 20 watts will be much harder. I would tend to agree with that. You got to, busting those pileups these days. Oh boy, you need either a full gallon or a lot of skill. And Mike says, I got my G90 last March. First HF radio, works great for POTA. Alaska, Spain, other DXs with the end-fed half wave. So a lot easier activating than hunting.
Yeah, I think if you get spotted on the POTA page and you're activating, you're not going to have any problem with 20 watts. Spin through the dial, get a couple park-to-parks when you can, and have a good time.
There you go. And and then Othniel says, he's planning to take a vacation up in Philadelphia for 3 weeks, and he's going to take his G90 and the BioNO 14 amp hour battery. Any suggestions or restrictions that I should be wary of in regards to TSA? TSA does have a hard limit on battery size, and it is 100 watt hours. So you want to have battery, and I think a 14 amp hour battery is going to have more than 100 watt hours of power in it. Yeah. But now that I think they've also recently changed that amount. So the we might have to double check the TSA rules. I don't have the website in front of me, but if you Google TSA lithium battery size or lithium battery restriction, you'll probably come up with the page, and it'll tell you what size battery and how the battery should be packaged in your carry-on. You cannot check lithium batteries in your, put them in your check luggage. They have to go on carry-on, and they have to be like in a plastic bag or something like that. I got a video. Actually, Dave and I made a video last fall on how to how to sort of pack how he packs his kit for flying. And so he had a suitcase with his G90 as his battery and a whole 9 yards, and it's TSA compliant, fits all the way through. If you look in my archive of videos, it came out like in October of this past year. You should be able to find it. If I get time, I can try to throw a link into the chat, though. I
have the TSA link right here.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and read it here. With airline approval, passengers may also carry up to 2 spare larger lithium-ion batteries from 101 watts to 160 watt-hours, or lithium metal batteries 2 to 8 grams, which I don't think it's a lithium metal. No. I think we're looking at lithium-ion. So you should be able to carry 160 watt-hours, spare uninstalled lithium-ion and lithium metal batteries, including power banks and cell phone battery charging cases, must be carried in carry-on. So I would double check, maybe, do a little research. 14 watt hours or 14 amp hours is probably towards the upper limit on that. But with the TSA, they can change their minds any day.
Yeah. So 14 will probably fit. Dave carries just a 6 amp hour battery and a little charger, and 6 amp hours with that Xiegu is enough to run it several hours. So it's so if you can get a smaller battery, you might be better than to take the big one with. So it's
right. We found out this past weekend that you can run on lithium iron phosphate battery for a long time.
And Dave's here in the chat. And he just says, recently raised it to 160 watt hours. So it's
there we go. Thanks, Dave.
Yep. And he loves his Xiegu, 200 plus POTA activations, 8,000 contacts with it. So
right, well, for only $440. Dave's living proof, I guess.
yeah. He's so
especially if you're willing to run FT8 or CW on some of those, man, you can run that all day.
You could, with the G90 though. If you're going to run FT8, make sure you get the cooling fan. So because you'll fry an egg on that one. Thank you so much for the questions. If you keep sending them, we'll keep answering them. Feel free to leave your questions and comments down in the comment area below. I'll filter through them, and who knows, yours may end up on our next Your Questions Answered live stream. Our Q&A live streams happen on the first Thursday of the month, starting at 7:00 p.m. Central Time. I hope to see you there. For more articles and information, along with a full line of VHF and UHF antennas for sale, please check out my website at www.jpol-antenna.com. Your support of this channel drives the production of future videos. Check us out on Patreon. Patrons gain access to exclusive content, and our patrons help keep the mission alive. That's over on patreon.com/KB9VBR Antennas. Well, give us that thumbs up if you like this video, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if it's your first time here. That's your best way to be notified when a new video is released. I'm Michael, KB9VBR. Have a great day, and 73.